Welcome back to Beyond the Scoreboard. I want to begin today's episode with a statement that may sound strange at first. Most athletes do not stop growing because they fail. They stop growing because they become successful. Think about that for a moment. As coaches, we spend a lot of time worrying about failure. We worry about athletes losing confidence. We worry about players getting cut. We worry about mistakes. We worry about disappointment. But if you have coached long enough, you eventually notice something interesting. Failure often creates growth. Comfort often prevents it. The athlete who gets cut often returns stronger. The athlete who gets benched often works harder. The athlete who falls short often becomes more focused. But why? Because failure creates urgency. Failure forces reflection. Failure exposes weaknesses. Failure asks a difficult question. What needs to improve? Comfort asks a very different question, though. Comfort asks, why change? And that's why comfort becomes so dangerous. Because unlike failure, comfort rarely feels like a problem. It feels good, it feels safe, and it feels earned and deserved. And slowly, without realizing it, growth begins to slow down. Like every coach has seen this happen. A player spends years trying to earn a starting position, then the player arrives early, stays late, works relentlessly, studies the film, competes every day, then finally the opportunity arrives. The player becomes a starter, the goal has been achieved, the dream has become reality, and at that moment two different paths appears. One athlete asks, how much better can I become? The other athlete asks, how do I keep what I have? That difference changes everything. The first athlete continues growing, the second athlete starts protecting. And the moment athletes become more focused on protecting success than pursuing growth, development begins to slow. Not because they became lazy, not because they stopped caring, because comfort arrived. The greatest athletes I have ever been around all shared a similar quality. They never acted like they had arrived. No matter how successful they became, no matter how much recognition they received, no matter how many wars they won, they remain focused. They remain curious. They remain coachable and hungry. They understood something that many athletes eventually forget. Success is not a destination, it's a responsibility. Success creates a new standard for you, a new challenge, a new opportunity to grow. The same lesson applies to coaches too. A coach takes over a struggling program. Every practice matters, every detail matters, every conversation matters. The coach is consistently learning, then consistently adapting, searching for better ways to teach and lead. Then success arrives, team starts winning, the culture starts improving, people starts to notice more, and recognition follows, and respect and results follow. Again, two different paths appear. One coach asks, what else can I learn? The other coach begins defending what worked in the past. One continues evolving, the other becomes comfortable. And eventually the game passes them by. Not because they stop working, because they stop growing. I think one of the greatest dangers in sports is believing that yesterday's success guarantees tomorrow's success. Sport doesn't work that way. Leadership doesn't work that way either. And life definitely doesn't work that way. Every season demands something new. Every season teaches something new. Every season exposes something new. The athletes and coaches who continue growing understand this. They stay students. They never graduate from learning. One of my favorite observations about the great competitors is that they respect success, but they do not trust it. They appreciate success, they celebrate success, but they do not allow success to convince them that improvement is no longer necessary. Because success can be a terrible teacher when it convinces you that you no longer need to learn. Think about championship teams. Many teams win once, far fewer win consistently. Why? Because sustaining success is harder than achieving it. The hunger that builds success is often different from the hunger required to maintain it. Success creates comfort, comfort reduces urgency, urgency drives growth, and growth is what keeps programs and athletes and leaders moving forward. This lesson extends beyond sports, though. Parents and teachers experience that too. Organizations and leaders experience it too. The moment we stop learning, stop listening, and stop growing, comfort begins to take over. Growth requires humility and curiosity. Growth requires the willingness to admit that there is another level to reach. Comfort says, you have done enough. Growth asks, what can I learn next? Comfort says, stay where you are. Growth says, keep moving. Comfort protects and growth stretches. And the people who continue making an impact are usually the people who choose growth over comfort again and again. As I grow older, I find myself asking a different question now. I'm not asking, am I successful? But am I still growing? Because success can be temporary, growth can last a lifetime. Success can create recognition, growth creates transformation. Success can make people notice you, growth makes you better. As we close today's episode, I want to leave you with a challenge. Ask yourself, where have I become comfortable? Where have I stopped learning? Where have I stopped improving? Where have I started protecting what I have instead of pursuing what I could become? Those questions matter because your greatest opponent is not always failure. Sometimes your greatest opponent is the comfort created by your last success. Failure asks, what needs to improve? Comfort says, you're fine where you are. One creates growth, the other creates stagnation. The question is not am I successful? The question is, am I still growing? Because the moment you believe you have arrived is often the moment you stop growing. Thank you for joining me for episode 19 of Beyond the Scoreboard. Until next time, continue pursuing excellence, continue investing in people, and remember that some of life's most important lessons are found beyond the scoreboard.